Good morning. Today we will continue that we have studied chemical properties of nitric acid. So in the previous videos we have seen that the acidic nature, oxidizing nature also we have seen with non-metals, and today we will study that reaction with copper. So either you take the dilute nitric acid or concentrate nitric acid, both are oxidizing agent. What is the reason? Just you see, if you take the dilute nitric acid, it decomposes to give water, nitric oxide and nascent oxygen. If you take concentrate nitric acid, this concentrate nitric acid also decompose to give water, nitrogen dioxide and nascent oxygen. It means both the acids, when they will decompose, give the nascent oxygen, and this nascent oxygen reacts or combined with other substances, the substance will be oxidized. Since it is given by nitric acid, so that's why nitric acid used as oxidizing agent. So reaction with copper, just you see, when you take the copper and dilute nitric acid, when you take dilute nitric acid, then the ratio is there 3:8. When you take concentrate nitric acid, then the ratio is 1:4. When you take the dilute, then 3:8. When you take the concentrate, 1:4. And this nitric acid reacts with copper, forms copper nitrate. This copper nitrate. Since we have used the dilute nitric acid, so rest of the product you see shown here. When this dilute nitric acid decompose, give water and nitric oxide, so the rest of the product will be water and nitric oxide. Just to see, copper 3, copper here 3, nitrogen 8, 3 to the 6, only 2 are left, multiplied by 2. Hydrogen 4, then hydrogen 8, and 4 to the 8. So by this way you can write. This one is copper, this will give copper nitrate. Rest of the products, just you see, water and nitrogen dioxide. So you can write here water and nitrogen dioxide. So just you see, nitrogen here 4, 2 here, you can multiply it by 2, 4. Then hydrogen 4, 2 to the 4. So by this way you can write. Here the question will be asked to you, name the gas released. Name the gas. So in the first case, name the gas. Here nitric oxide. Nitric oxide. In the second case, you will get nitrogen dioxide. So in the first one, nitric oxide. Second one is nitrogen dioxide. Then observation. Observation. What do you observe? When copper reacts with dilute nitric acid. So what is the color of this copper nitrate? Blue. This also blue. So when copper reacts with dilute nitric acid, observation will be there. Blue colored solution is formed. Blue colored solution. Solution is formed. Second observation here, a colorless gas is released. Colorless gas is released. If it is asked to you, what do you observe when copper reacts with concentrate nitric acid? So this nitrogen dioxide, this is reddish brown color. Reddish brown color, and this one is colorless. So for second equation, what observation you will write? First observation say that blue colored solution is formed. Blue colored solution is formed. Second observation, reddish brown gas is released. Reddish brown gas is released. Reddish brown gas is released. Then it is asked to you, what is the role of nitric acid in both the equations? What is the role of nitric acid? So in both the equation, nitric acid is used as oxidizing agent. What is the answer? Oxidizing agent. Nitric acid is used as oxidizing agent. So this is your answer. So this is coming in most important category. So equation you can note down and then observation and name the gas. These are the possible answers that I will give. Then this equation is given in your book by partial equation method. So I will explain you how to write by the partial equation method. It is up to you. Either directly you can learn it as I suggested you 3:8, 1:4, write copper nitrate, rest of the product you can take from this decomposition list. And if you want, you can write by this partial equation method also. It is also easy, not a difficult one. In class 9 you will study by the partial equation method. So here I will show you how to write the partial equation method. It is up to you. You can follow any method. Mark will be given if the equation is correct. If it is wrong, then mark will not be given. So first of all, I am taking the dilute nitric acid. This dilute nitric acid decomposed to give water, nitric oxide and nascent oxygen. This copper combined with nascent oxygen form copper oxide. Since copper oxide is the basic oxide is there, so this copper oxide react with nitric acid. This will form copper nitrate and water. Now intermediate product you have to cancel. So just to see the first one, 3 nascent oxygen are produced, but here only 1. So you can multiply it by 3. Now 3 copper oxide, but here 1. So that also you can multiply by 3. So 3 nascent oxygen will be cancelled. 3 copper oxide will be cancelled. So now just multiply here 3 Cu, then 2 HNO3 and 3 to the 6, 8 HNO3. This will form 3 Cu, NO3 whole twice, then 3 H2O plus 1 H2, 4 H2, then 2 NO. By this way you can write. So the mark you given is final equation. How you are getting it is your problem. If it is correct reactants, correct products and fully balanced, then the mark will be given. If reactants and products are correct, but the equation is unbalanced, then the mark will not be given. Now next one, with concentrate nitric acid also, you can write the equation. So it is easy. Just to see once or twice if you do the practice, you can get it easily. So this nitric acid that is printed in your book, this will decompose to give water, nitrogen dioxide and nascent oxygen. This copper combined with nascent oxygen form copper oxide. And this copper oxide, since basic oxide is there, react with nitric acid, form copper nitrate and water. Now you can add the equation. So just to go through your book, page number 193. If you go through your book, copper, zinc, and iron 3 are given, but you study only copper because that is given in syllabus. The next point is given passivity. I want to tell you that two metals, they become passive when they come in contact with nitrification. Passivity of the certain metals. So where we expect that they will be reactive, but they will be inert, they will not react with nitrification. So if you take concentrate nitrification, this concentrate nitrification is there, or fuming nitrification is there, fuming nitrification. In that one, if you place a piece of aluminium, this aluminium is there. So what will happen? This nitric acid is oxidizing agent. You have seen they are giving the nascent oxygen. So what will happen? This aluminium react with nitric acid, form an oxide layer. An oxide film is formed. Oxide layer. So when the oxide layer is formed, so this nitric acid will not get the contact with the aluminium. When the oxide film is formed, then this nitric acid will not get the contact with the metal. In between metal and acid, oxide film is there. So that's why these two metals, aluminium and iron, they render passive. They become inert. They don't react with fuming nitric acid due to the formation of oxide layer. But anyhow, if you remove this oxide layer either by mechanical method or by chemical method. What is the mechanical method? Just you rub with the sandpaper, that is called the mechanical method. Chemical method, you can apply hydrochloric acid, that you can remove this oxide layer, that will become active. So earlier, in early days, for transportation of nitric acid, we were using the aluminium container because of this inertness or passivity. So please underline in your book that iron, page number 193, passivity. Second point, iron and aluminium are rendered passive due to formation of thin oxide coating on the surface of the metal, which prevents further reaction. If oxide layer is removed mechanically or chemically, the metal becomes active again. Then aquaresia, already we have studied in hydrochloric acid chapter. Aquaresia is a mixture, 3 parts of the hydrochloric acid and 1 part of the concentrated nitric. Both are concentrated nitric acid. The work of the nitric acid is as an oxidizing agent. This nitric acid oxidizes hydrochloric acid to nascent chlorine, and this nascent chlorine react with noble metals, gold and platinum, convert them soluble metallic chloride. That's why they are soluble. So this you have studied. Then page number 194, that nitric acid with inorganic compounds and organic compound is not in the syllabus. So page number 194 fully you can leave it. Then next one is test for nitric acid and nitrate. This is the part of the practical chemistry. So that's why we have to study important topic. So now we are going to take that test for nitric acid and nitrate. Test for nitric acid and nitrates. Test for nitric acid and nitrates. So 3 categories are there. First of all, action of heat. Action of heat. In action of heat, we can take concentrated nitric acid and we can take that metallic nitrates except sodium, potassium and ammonium, because they will behave differently. So first of all, concentrate nitric acid. When this concentrate nitrates except sodium, potassium and ammonium. When they are heated, they will give you that metallic oxide or metal. They will give you metallic oxide or metal, then nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. Here also reddish brown gas. What you will observe, reddish brown gas. So when nitrates are heated, they will give either metallic oxide or metal, then reddish brown gas is released. Now the next one is given that copper, this next one is given, that is coming together, first point. Now copper and concentrated nitric acid and copper nitrate and concentrated sulfuric acid. These two tests are there. So this copper and concentrate nitric acid. So when copper is heated with concentrate nitric acid, this will give copper nitrate, nitrogen dioxide and water. So when copper is heated with concentrate nitric acid, this copper nitrate solution is blue is there, and this one is reddish brown. So what you will observe, when copper is heated with concentrate nitric acid, you will observe that reddish brown gas is released and then blue colored solution is formed. Now next one is copper nitrate, and so you can take sodium nitrate and sulfuric acid. So you can take the four molecules. This will form 4NaH SO4. Then full equation you can write here. This is copper nitrate, nitrogen dioxide and 2H2. So here what you will observe? What you will observe, when copper is heated with sodium nitrate and sulfuric acid, you will observe that again reddish brown gas is released and then blue colored solution is formed. So now next one is brown ring test. Very important. What is the brown ring test? Brown ring test is used for the conformity test as a nitrates. So next one is brown ring test. Brown ring, as the name is given, at the junction of the two liquid, brown ring is formed, and this brown ring is used as a conformity test for nitrate. So brown ring test. So this is the test for nitrate radical. This brown ring test is conducted for nitrate radicals. So how we do this one? We take a test tube. In that test tube, we take either nitric acid, or nitrate, any nitrate solution, because all the nitrates are soluble. After this one, we add freshly prepared ferrous sulfate. Why this freshly prepared ferrous sulfate is required? Because just to see what is the real cause, this nitrate is there, nitrate ion, this is reduced to nitric oxide. Reduction takes place, and this reduction takes place in the presence of the ferrous ion. And you know the oxidation state of iron is +2 and +3, and if any substance is used as reducing agent, the substance itself is getting oxidized. So this ferrous ion is getting oxidized to ferric ion, and then nitrate ion is reduced to nitric oxide. Because during the brown ring formation, this nitric oxide reacts with ferrous sulfate to form nitrosoferrous sulfate, and because of this formation of nitrosoferrous sulfate, you are getting the brown ring. So that's why this freshly prepared ferrous sulfate is required, because if you already prepared in the lab, it will be oxidized to ferric ion, and ferric ion cannot be used as reducing agent. So that's why the freshly prepared ferrous sulfate solution is required. So we add freshly prepared ferrous sulfate, and then we add concentrated sulfuric acid. With the side wall of the test tube, we add concentrated sulfuric acid. So when we add concentrated sulfuric acid, what we observe that this sulfuric acid will settle down. This concentrated sulfuric acid will settle down, and where the two liquids are meeting, here ferrous sulfate solution is there, and where the two liquids are meeting at the junction, this brown ring is formed. At the junction, this brown ring is formed. This brown ring, because of the formation of nitrosoferrous sulfate. So sulfuric is just that will settle down, ferrous sulfate is floating, and at the junction of the two liquids, brown ring is formed. This brown ring is formed because of this nitrosoferrous sulfate. This compound is nitrosoferrous sulfate. Just to see, if you don't take the freshly prepared, if it is already oxidized, so it will not answer to the brown ring. And how this brown ring is formed? Sulfuric acid is denser, that will settle down, and ferrous sulfate will float. When the two liquids are meeting, you can get the brown ring. If you disturb this one, so this concentrated sulfuric acid, this aqueous ferrous sulfate is there, that will mix with water, and reaction is highly exothermic. So the heat is liberated and will spoil the brown ring. So in your test tube, you cannot get the brown ring. Now the chemical equation, how the chemical equation will be there. So just you take the dilute nitric acid. This dilute nitric acid decomposed to give water, nitric oxide, and this nascent oxygen. And this oxygen, you have to take acidified ferrous sulfate. So this acidified ferrous sulfate combined with oxygen form ferric sulfate. This will form ferric sulfate. This you see iron 2, you write here 2. Sulfate 3, 1 here, 2 here 3. Now hydrogen and oxygen, they will combine to form water. You can add the equations. So the first one 3% oxygen, but here only 1, then multiplied by 3. Now 3 will be cancelled. Then 3 to the 6, FeSO4, then 3 H2SO4, then 2 HNO3, it will form Fe2 SO4 whole thrice, then 3H2O plus 1H2O, 4H2O, and 2 nitric oxide. And this ferrous sulfate combined with nitric oxide form nitrosoferrous sulfate. This is the brown ring. Brown ring. This compound is nitrosoferrous sulfate. So just to see, both the equations are given, but for this one is important for you. They may ask you a question that which compound is there in the brown ring. So what you will write? Nitrosoferrous sulfate. Because of this compound, brown ring is formed. So just to go through page number 195, underline this one: ferrous sulfate FeSO4 plus NO, FeSO4 dot NO, nitroso, iron second sulfate, brown compound, and all the points are given what I have discussed here. Now next one, you come on the uses. If you see the uses, it is not in a syllabus, but just to see in your book at the bottom side it is written nitrate behave differently on thermal decomposition. So that only I will take because this is the topic of the practical chemistry. So they are asking the questions from this. So thermal decomposition of nitrates. Thermal decomposition of nitrate or effect of heat on nitrates. So when the nitrates are heated, how they will decompose and how they will give the products, that is very important. It is a part of the practical chemistry. So effect of heat on nitrates. So PCS, PC में gentle. So potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, nickel, tin, lead, hydrogen, copper, mercury, silver. So that is categorized in three parts. Here potassium, sodium, they will behave in a similar way. Potassium, sodium, they will behave in a similar way. When potassium nitrate is heated, it will give potassium nitrite and oxygen. In the same way, sodium nitrate is heated, that will give sodium nitrite and oxygen. When calcium, zinc, copper and lead, they will behave in the same way. So when calcium nitrate is heated, this will give calcium oxide, nitrogen dioxide, oxygen. Then zinc nitrate, when the zinc nitrate is heated, this will give zinc oxide, nitrogen dioxide, oxygen. Then copper nitrate, when the copper nitrate is heated, this will give copper oxide, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. And lead nitrate is heated, so you will get lead oxide, nitrogen dioxide. So observation, these two are the most important. This is black, this is white, and this one is blue. And this color, red is brown. So one question, what do you observe when lead nitrate is heated? Reddish brown gas is released, a colorless gas is released which indicates glowing splinter, and yellow residue is released. In all the nitrates when they are heated, cracking sound will be heard. Then mercuric nitrate, when mercuric nitrate is heated, it will give mercury, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. Here also it is brown gas is released. And silver nitrate, when silver nitrate is heated, this will give metallic residue, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. Here metallic residue, that is brown gas, a colorless gas which indicates glowing splinter. And ammonium nitrate, when ammonium nitrate is heated, this is solid, that will give nitrous oxide gas and water vapor. So in nitrate which means no residue, then ammonium nitrate because all are in a gaseous form. So this one is important. Here you can study observations. Here name and nitrate which gives only one gaseous product, sodium or potassium, and here color you can write in observation, color of the residue, reddish brown gas, and this is colorless gas which indicates glowing splinter. In all the nitrates, cracking sound will be heard. Here metallic residue is obtained, reddish brown gas is released, colorless gas which indicates glowing splinter. So this chapter is over. In the next video, we will discuss the board questions.